It was a dark night, but not too dark, because if it had been, little Marlo wouldn't have been outside playing by the forest pond. Marlo was a gentle, wide-eyed raccoon who lived in a hollow log at the edge of the woods. And every night after dinner, when the sky was full of stars, he would come down to the pond to watch them. Tonight, though, Marlo noticed something strange. A beam of moonlight had hit the water just right, creating a glowing rectangle on the surface, like a message in a bottle. And when Marlo leaned closer, he saw that it was a wish. It read, "I wish I could feel the warmth of the sun again." Signed by a name he didn't recognize, Lily. Marlo knew instantly what he had to do. He had to deliver this message to the sky, so Lily's wish would come true. But how? Just then, a wise old turtle poked his head out of the water. "What are you doing?" he asked. Marlo explained about the wish and the moon, and the turtle understood exactly what needed to be done. "You see," he said, "up above the clouds, there's a tiny star who hasn't shone her light in a very long time. She's too lonely to shine. No one ever thinks of her. So sometimes, when the moon hits the water just right, she sends messages down to the forest floor in hopes of finding a friend who will help her." The turtle looked at Marlo and said, "She's waiting for someone with an adventurous spirit, someone who can bring her the warmth of the sun. Are you going to help her, Marlo?" Marlo didn't hesitate. "Of course," he replied, puffing out his chest. The wise old turtle smiled. "Then you must go now. The night is young, and your journey has begun." With that, Marlo turned toward the trees and started his nighttime hike. It wasn't long before he heard soft flapping above him. Startled, Marlo looked up and saw a big, round owl swooping closer and closer. Before he knew it, the owl landed on a branch in front of him, blocking his path. And then she hooted once, twice, 3 times. "Ho, ho, ho," she said. "If you want to pass, you'll have to answer my riddle. What has an eye but cannot see?" Marlo thought hard. An eye that cannot see. It must be something shiny, like a button or maybe a bead. "Is it this?" he asked, holding up a pebble. The owl shook her head and hooted again. Marlo tried a leaf. The owl hooted again. This time, Marlo saw something in the corner of his eye, a little shiny thing hanging from the branch above him. Was it the moon? No, it was a dewdrop. But when the owl saw it, she cried, "That's right," and flew away. Marlo hurried past the sleeping owl and continued through the forest. Soon he heard a buzzing sound, and when he stopped to listen, he heard it again. Buzz! 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 Out from behind a leaf scurried a little firefly. "Excuse me," said Marlo. "Could you help me get to the other side of the forest?" The firefly buzzed once, twice, 3 times, and then he disappeared. "What does that mean?" asked Marlo. The wise old turtle had told him that each creature the raccoon met on his journey would give him part of what he needed to deliver the wish. The sleepy owl had given him her sharp eyes, so he could see well in the dark. Now the shy firefly had given him his buzzing wings, so he could hear the wishes of others. Marlo felt a warmth spread through him. Maybe the star wasn't giving Lily a wish. Maybe she was giving all of us a wish. If Marlo could help her, he would make the whole forest a happier place. And so, with newfound determination, he followed the sound of the buzzing until he found a beautiful patch of glowing mushrooms. They were everywhere, hiding under logs, peeking out from behind rocks, even growing on top of a fallen tree like a carpet. Suddenly, Marlo understood what he had to do. Quickly, he gathered as many mushrooms as he could carry and tucked them under his paws. Then he started back toward the pond, eager to deliver them to the star. But on the way, he met a family of deer who were getting ready for bed. "Where are you going with all those mushrooms, little raccoon?" they asked. "I'm taking them to the sky to help a lonely star who hasn't shone her light in a long time," replied Marlo. The deer gasped. "Oh, we know that star. She's too sad to shine. She misses her home, the warmth of the sun. We've tried everything to cheer her up, but nothing seems to work. You truly have a kind heart, little raccoon. To offer her something so bright, perhaps you can bring her some flowers instead." In the meadow beyond the whispering falls, the moon paints dewdrops into every flower, and at night, when the wind blows through them, they make music so beautiful, it makes you want to dance. Marlo stopped. He couldn't deliver Lily's wish if he didn't have any brightness. But how could a few small mushrooms help a lonely star? Then Marlo had an idea. Maybe the flowers weren't meant for the star. Maybe they were meant for the deer. Maybe they would help the deer make music and dance. And then they wouldn't be so worried about the star. And so, with a lighter heart, Marlo raced across the meadow to the Whispering Falls. There, under the light of the moon, he picked a bouquet of flowers and then ran back to the deer. They cheered when they saw them and quickly wove the flowers into their hair. Then, one by one, they closed their eyes, swayed to the music, and soon they were dancing under the stars. Marlo watched them twirl and dip and leap until he saw another shooting star streak across the sky. Then he turned and raced back to the forest pond. He had no flowers, no mushrooms, no extra eyes or ears, just the dewdrop from the firefly's wing, which had dried and fallen to the ground. Disappointed, Marlo slumped down on the bank and stared at the moon. Suddenly, the sky split open and a bright light shone down on him. Startled, Marlo looked up and saw the shooting star land gracefully beside him. "You brought me the warmth of the sun," she said, handing him the dewdrop. "The music of the flowers, the firefly's wings, the owl's sharp eyes, the love in your heart. With these gifts, I can finally shine again." And as the star flew away, the entire forest shimmered with a beautiful golden light. Marlo gasped. The flowers were glowing, the mushrooms were shining, the dewdrops sparkled, and even the fireflies glowed with a new brightness. From deep within the woods came the sound of happy laughter. The deer were dancing in the moonlight. Marlo smiled. The star's wish had come true, and so had his. He helped a lonely star find her voice, and in return, she gave him the greatest gift of all, the light of friendship. As the first rays of sunlight peeked over the horizon, Marlo yawned and snuggled into his bed of leaves. The forest was silent, but not lonely. He knew that deep in the whispering woods, a star was singing a new song, the song of friendship. And Marlo dreamed of the day when she would shine her light on him and all the friends he would make along the way. The end.